Alright guys, let's talk about something that isn't the most recent worst game ever that I've played, because, you know, even I get sick of that sometimes. And this is kind of important to me, because modding and stuff is something that I built my channel around once upon a time, so whenever developments like this happen, I like to talk about them. So if you're interested in modding, or you are a modder yourself, or you just pay attention to video game news, as I'm sure you probably do, you may have already heard about this. It's been on front pages pretty much everywhere. Nexus Mods, the most popular modding website on the internet basically, announced that they would be doing a donation system and a way for their modders to get compensated on the website. Now this is very different than Bethesda's current model with paid mods, wherein they basically just get people to make mods for them and then you can buy them on the store. Bethesda pays them a set amount to create the mod and then nothing afterwards. Nexus Mods for years now has already had a donation system. When you download a mod or you like the author, you could directly donate to them and the proceeds would go to them, etc. But this is going to be a bit of a different system, and it's designed to encourage modders to be able to make more and encourage you to support those modders that you really like. So the way it sounds like this works is that basically every month Nexus Mods themselves are going to be putting in $5,000 to $10,000 into a pool. That pool is going to be distributed to different mod authors based on how many times their mods are downloaded by a specific user. It is limited to one download per mod author, not one download per user per mod. So, like, if you download one thing from Chesco and then download all of his other mods, you're still only going to count as one download, and that's only going to, like, count as one prize pool vote. In addition to that, there's also going to be a bigger emphasis on donating into that prize pool itself. You're not going to be donating to that specific mod author necessarily. It'll be going into the overall pool that is doled out at the end of the month. These are going to be doled out to modders at the end of every month as a point system that's redeemable on the Nexus Mods storefront, which is going to be appearing very soon by the sounds of it, but they can also be converted into cash directly via PayPal or as an Amazon gift card. So it does sound like it's pretty simple to turn these points that you get as a modder into actual cash that you can, you know, buy things with. That's kind of nice. In addition to that, the Nexus storefront is going to include a variety of different games, ones you're used to seeing on places like Steam, GOG, etc. One would probably assume it's going to be mostly heavily moddable games, because that is what their website is after all. And it sounds like they're also looking to offer things like software to make modding easier, different programs, etc. So this is a pretty big development. It's a different way of getting revenue over to modders, which I do believe is a thing that should be happening, because these people are putting in a crap ton of work to make some of these really crazy huge mods, and they do deserve it. Being someone who makes revenue off the internet myself, you know, through ad revenue, donations, etc., I know how much you can put into making a project and still feel like you're not getting enough out of it. And no matter how many people say, oh, you should just be doing it for fun, it's never going to really work out like that after you get past a certain point. Eventually you get to the point where you need to be making a little bit of money to justify your time. I mean, when I'm not working my full-time job, I'm usually trying to do stuff like this. I'm making videos or playing awful games, streaming on Twitch, and all this other stuff in between. And it's very similar for modders, especially ones that are making things like Fallscar and stuff, where you create an entirely new map that's basically making a video game. And even though this is by no means going to make it livable for modders, they're going to at least be able to get some things with their revenue back from this, and I think that's really a good thing. You know, like most of my YouTube revenue and stuff goes towards buying games I actually want to play, or buying the worst games ever when I can't get codes for them. What it does is it kind of lessens the expense on you, and that really helps you create more content and better content. And of course, this is totally different than the paid mods that Bethesda currently has, and like I said before, the way those mods work is that Bethesda basically hires these modders to create a, quote, professionally made quality mod that they pay them a set fee for. They create the mod, then Bethesda sells it and gets all the revenue from it. That might not sound very good, but that is basically how video game freelancing works, and I don't necessarily have a problem with that, because the modders are free to not do that if they don't want to. And they're basically getting paid to make something in someone else's game, so I think like a flat fee makes sense for general contract work. And then there's all the problems with the Creation Club too, things like their point system and their premium currency not adding up to most mods, so that forces you to buy more currency than you would need just to get one mod, then have a bit left over, and really messing with the value for your money. Stuff like that's pretty scummy, and this also opens up the door for more people who might not be under Bethesda's payroll while making these mods to get a little bit of revenue from it. Because if you want to make mods for Bethesda and be a part of the Creation Club, you need to go through an entire basically hiring process and all that stuff too. And if someone who is a modder makes their first mod and it becomes really popular, Bethesda's probably going to ignore it, at least initially. So this offers people who get their mods really popular to basically make what is kind of equivalent to ad revenue, I guess. The more people who download their mod, the more points they'll get at the end of the month, and then they'll be able to redeem that in whatever form they deem desirable. And I think that's a completely fair idea. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, and users are still by no means forced to pay or donate to get these mods, so I think that's totally cool. And you can still be a part of and help out the system just by downloading mods. I'm sure this is going to cause a few problems down the line. People are going to nitpick things and stuff, and hopefully those get fixed when they occur, but overall, it sounds a lot better than the Creation Club as an alternative, and I'm kind of excited that Bethesda now has to compete with someone else with this paid mod crap, so maybe they will take it upon themselves to fix some things as well. That'd be nice. That's a nice dream I got right now. Now, historically, Bethesda's been pretty open about people modding their games and stuff, but there is the possibility too, because Bethesda games are probably going to be the premier mods on Nexus going forward for many years still, that if there is a competitor to Bethesda's own Creation Club in any way, shape, or form, they may take exception to that and limit stuff. I hope they don't do that. I don't think they're going to, because Bethesda kind of realizes that mods and a free mod market are pretty much the reason that their games are as popular as they are at this point. So while this does have a little bit of a risk of Bethesda stepping in and shutting it down or altering how they handle mods internally and stuff, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but you never know, so it is something to be kind of concerned of. We'll see what happens, I guess, and this change is expected to go live at the end of January or start of February at some point on Nexus Mods, so we'll see what happens. I kind of think it's probably going to get delayed. I've got no basis on that, I just have like a weird little feeling about it. In the description to this video is the official link to Nexus Mods and their post about it, so you can go and check it out for yourself and see what the whole deal is. Tell me what you think about this. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Are there unforeseen things that we are going to run into that we just haven't even thought about yet? Let me know in the comments. I am PattyJack. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.